For my kinship project, I wanted to look at the Battaglia immediate family tree, which you can see here. My parents, Anthony and Phyllis Battaglia, met in Buffalo, New York. Her maiden name was Phyllis Romano. She felt compelled to get married when she was 23. Tony was in broadcasting and a couple years older than her, and it was 1963 when they first got married. They were very happy in Buffalo but moved to Syracuse so he could take another job in broadcasting, and in short order there were three of us: myself, my sister Stacy, and finally my younger brother Mark were all born. And that's because we were a very, very Catholic family, so the family grew in very short order. We then moved to Towson, Maryland, so Tony could take a different job at a television station. That station was WMAR TV in Baltimore. I remember from that television station they had a Professor Cool show that I got to be on in elementary school, and that was kind of cool. They also had Romper Room at the time. And so my sister got to be on that. I remember she flashed us by showing her underwear. It was scandalous. My mother was working at Essex Community College when we lived in Towson, Maryland, and was very happy there. But my father lost his job at WMAR, and because his life was in broadcasting, he decided that we needed to move back to New York State so he could take a job at WHEN, which later became WTVH. My parents were divorced shortly after we moved back to New York State, and my mother took a job working at Syracuse University, which was critical because as a single mom it was the only way she could put us through college. So I went to Syracuse University, and at Syracuse University I was a volunteer on the ambulance squad, Syracuse University Ambulance, which was all student run. And there I met my future husband, Chris Martin, who was also a crew chief and a student of mechanical engineering at Syracuse University. We married but later divorced, but before we did, we had two incredible children. The first was Katie. Katie was a psychology, sociology, and anthropology major at Towson, and she went on to New York City where she became a research analyst and is now the manager of an entire network of analysts. There was also William, aka Tucker Martin, who was a graduate of Linganore High School and then later went on to Howard Community College, where he is working on his associates right now in computer science. The rest of the family, my sister Stacy grew up to become a salesperson. She married John, who was a doctor, after a failed marriage to another man. Her stepson Drew is John's son from his first marriage, and John and Stacy together have a daughter, Sydney, who is now 5. My brother Mark, who was my youngest brother, ended up marrying Anne, and they have 3 children, named actually for members of the family. There's Isabella, acknowledging our Italian roots, Salvatore, who's called Sam, and also Anthony. So that gives you a little bit of a sense of the Battaglia family tree.